Today, we are going to differentiate different kinds of decimals. First, we have terminating decimal. It is a decimal in which the number of decimal places is finite. There is an end to the division of the dividend and divisor. We have, for example, 7 divided by 8. So if we're going to divide that, we have 7 divided by 8. This is our dividend and the divisor. Since we cannot divide 7 divided by 8, we can put decimal point and then add 0. Then we can now divide 70 divided by 8, that is 8. So we have 64. And then subtract it, that is 6. Then add more zeros, bring down more zeros, divide again, we have 7. Then subtract, it's 56. Multiply, then it's 56. Then you subtract, we have 4. And then add more 0 until there will be no remainder. Then add, bring down 0, divide. Then that's 5, 40, no more remainder. So this is an example of terminating decimal because there is no remainder and there is a finite answer, the quotient. There is an end to the division of the dividend and the divisor. Now, another kind of decimal is repeating decimal. It is a decimal with repeated digits. The digit or set of digits that repeats is called repeatant. The repeatant can be indicated by a bar above the repeating digit or digits. Example, we have 5 divided by 11. So, since we cannot divide, you add decimal point and then 0. So, decimal point here. Then we have 4. That is 44. We have 6. Add more 0. This is 5. Then this is 55. And this is 5. Another 0. Okay. Then we have 4. Then it's 44. Then 6. As you can see, when we bring down more 0, it repeats again to 60 and then 50 and then 60 again and then 50. Therefore, the answer is always 45. It will not end to this kind of answer. So you can have 0.45 and then you put a bar above. That means it is a repeating digits of 0.45, 45, 45, and so on. Okay, next, another is non-terminating decimal. It is a decimal in which the number of decimal places is infinite. There is no end to the division of the dividend and divisor. For example, we have 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 13, I'm sorry. So, add decimal point. Then we have that is 5, no, it's 4. Okay, so we have 12, carry 1, that's 52. Then subtract 8, bring down 0. We have 5, 6. Yeah, 6. So we have 18, carry 1, 72, another 0. Bring down 20 divided 13 is 1, 13, 7, add another 0, we have 5, okay, and that is 65, then another 5, add another 0 here, then bring down and then you divide again, we have 3, that is 9, 39, 50 minus 39 is 11. Then add another 0 here is continuation. So 110, that is, this is 8. This is 24, carry 2, 10. And then there's a 6. And then add another 0 again. Then you divide it again, that is 4, so that is 12, carry 1, 52. So as you can see, the number of decimal places is infinite. There is no end to the division. Therefore, that is what you call non-terminating decimal. Now, let's apply all our learnings to about dividing decimals by applying it to word problems. Now, let's read a story for today about a day in a bookstore. Annie bought 6 notebooks for 79 pesos and 50 centavos. How much did each notebook cost? So based from this story problem, we are going to divide, because if you're going to pay 79.50 and then you bought 6 notebooks, how much is the notebook, each notebook? So in solving word problem, first, we already discussed this a lot of times, and we need to, when you solve a word problem, you need to think, know what is asked, you need to plan on how are you going to solve, and then solve it with your solution, and then state it the complete answer. You always follow S of form. Equation first. If it's a word problem, you put the equation, the solution, and then the answer. So let us answer the story problem. If Annie bought 6 notebooks for $7.50, how much did each notebook cost? So we are going to divide. Our equation would be 79.50 divided by 6 is equals to n. Now let's solve. So we have 79.50 divided by 6. So going back to our lesson about division, put the decimal point on top of the decimal point of the dividend and start dividing. So 7 divided 6 is 1, the 6, that is 9, is 3, 18, 1, then bring down 5, that is 2, 12, 3, 0, then 5. Therefore, and then there's 30, no more remainder. Therefore, each notebook cost 13 pesos and 25 centavos. So that is our answer. Now, let us have more examples about dividing decimals. It can be with other operations, can be with addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Okay, let's have this. John and his teammates have the following heights. John is 1.85 meter, Mark is 1.94 meters, Joshua is 1.7 meters, and Ryan is 1.51 meters. What is their average height? When we say average, it deals with addition and then division. So how are we going to get the average or their average height? So first, what you're going to do is to add first the height of John, Mark, Joshua, and Ryan. So we have the equation here should be 1.85, some parentheses here, because we're going to add first 1.85 plus 1.94 plus 1.7 plus 1.51. Then, whatever is the answer, you divide it to 4. Where did we get that 4? Because we are going to divide, or we need to get the average of the 4 persons here. We have John, Mark, Joshua, and Ryan. So that's why we're going to divide by 4, so to get the average height. So let's add. We have, for the solution, let's add it manually. 1.85 plus 1.94 plus 1.7 plus 1.51. Okay, add 0 to the empty place value. So we have 10, carry 1, then 18, 25, 30. Carry 3, that is 7. So the total of the 4 heights is 7. Then we're going to divide it to 4. That is 1. We have 4. We have 3, 0. That is 7. That is 28. We have 2. Bring down 0. That is 5. That is 20. No more remainder. Therefore, the average height of the 4 persons here is 1.75 meters. So we have here the answer is the average height is 1.75 meters. Next, Nathan has a rectangular lot of 872.25 square meters. He needs to divide the lot equally among her one son and three daughters. How much of the lot will each receive? So we have here, it's very obvious that we're going to divide because of the word divide. But how many are we going to divide? We have 4. So 1 for the one son and then 3 daughters. So for our equation, we have 875.25 divided by 4 is equals to n. To solve, we have 875.25 divided by 4, that is 2, 8, 7, 1 is 4, 35, it's 8, 32, that is 3, then bring down 2, we have 8, 32, 0, then bring down 5, we have 1, this is 4, 1, bring down 0, because we're going to add 0 until there will be no remainder, we have 2, and then 8, have 2, bring down 0, add 0 and then bring down 0, we have 5. Therefore, the answer here, each child will receive 218.8125 square meters of lot. Next, the class of 6H collaboration needs to cook 4.2 kilograms of porridge for their outreach program. How many street children can they feed if each cup of porridge weighs 0.12 kilogram? So again, this is also division because it deals with how many street children, the word each here. Okay, so for our equation, we have 4.2 divided by 0.12 is equals to n. To solve, we have 4.2 divided by 0.12. Going to divide a number that the divisor is a decimal number, then we need to make it a whole number first before we're going to divide, because we cannot divide if the divisor is a decimal number. So what we're going to do is to move here 1, 2 to make it a whole number. So this will become 12. And if you're going to move 2 places here, you need to move also 2 places on the dividend so that the value will not change. We have 1, 2, add 0. Therefore, the decimal point now is here. Now let's divide. So 42 divided by 2, we have 3 is 36. So that is 6, bring down 0, then the answer here, 60 divided by 12 is 5, that is 60. So there is no remainder, therefore the answer is, how many street children? There are 35 children. Okay. Last example. Rose has 5 kilograms of chicken feeds. If her chicken is fed twice a day and eats 0.25 kilogram of food each feeding, how many days will her chicken consume its food? So we are going to divide. We have our equation would be 5 divided by, since as you can see here, her chicken is fed twice a day and each feeding it eats 0.25 kilograms. So what we're going to do is to multiply first 0.25 times 2 because of the word twice. And then we're talking about a day. Is equals to n. Okay, so let's perform first inside parentheses. So 0.25 times 2, following the PEMDAS rule, perform first inside the parentheses, then you do the multiplication, division, and addition or subtraction. So we have times 2, we have 10, carry 1, 5, 0. So count 1, 2, therefore our decimal point is here, 1, 2. So this 5 divided by 0.5 now. Then we can now divide 5 divide 0.5. So again, why did we are going to multiply 0.25 times 2? Because we're talking about days. How many days? We're not talking about each feeding. Okay, so let's divide. We have 5 divide 0.5. So again, we need to make it a whole number first. We move the decimal point one place, one move, and then from here the decimal point we also move one move, then add 0 to the empty place value. So this will become 50 and this will become 5. So 50 divided 5 is 1, 5, 0, bring down 0, divide it again, then the answer is 10. So how many days will her chicken consume its food? It will take 10 days to consume all the food of the chicken.